All right. Well, welcome to WAM Wednesday for Wednesday, June 23rd. I hope you have had a great week so far. We've been traveling. If you've been watching our posts and things, had 4 days in Dallas. So I got to see the grandkids. Had Father's Day in Dallas with my son. So we had kind of a dual Father's Day thing going on. So had some good things happening, but it is time to get back to some weekly accountability for you. Plus, we've got part two of developing the confidence to go after your dreams. For those of you who were with me on Finish Strong Friday last Friday, we went through part one. So if you didn't do that, hop back and get it. We've also probably got the post out there about what you might have missed last week, which kind of every week kind of does a culmination of our weekly challenge plus WAM Wednesday, Thrive Thursday, and Finish Strong Friday. So if you ever miss a week, you can just catch that post and or you can subscribe to the newsletter and get it sent to you. So anyway, we're going to talk about some weekly accountability first, and then we're going to hop over to our session. So let me back out of here. Let me get rid of the banner. Boom. How do we do that? We got to hide that, and then we got to hide me, so I can do that like that. And now we're good to go. All right. Well, let's talk about the percentage of key actions that you executed last week. Again, that's just a percentage. So go back through your week and say, man, I needed to do that to reach my goal. I needed to do that to reach my goal. I needed to do that to reach my goal, and then add those things up, and let's see how many you actually did. So we want to keep a running tab of our percentage because, again, success is just math. So we want to get out there and make sure that we're doing the things that we should be doing to be successful. And then as we do our strategy sessions and we realize that you got a very, very high percentage of your key actions, but you're just not getting anywhere, we need to take a look at our key actions because maybe we've made them way too easy and are just not attributable to the particular goal that you have. So we want to certainly diagnose these on at least a 12-week basis, but primarily you want to look at them every week and see if we're getting where we need to get to be. And then what victories from the past week were you most proud of? We always want to talk about that because in growth, we want to make sure we talk about your strengths. You don't want to beat people up on weakness. That's what most people think accountability is all about, beat people up on their weaknesses. But it's not. It's about celebrating your successes and your victories and what's going well, right? And then, but I also want to know what you need to most improve upon. No, we don't want this thing doesn't say what did you suck at. It says what do you need to improve upon. So even though we even had some victories, we want to know how can we have made them better. Bigger victories. So, yeah, we want to be a little greedy. We want to make sure that we are the best that we can be. And then, of course, what are we most grateful for? And this just helps us, again, get away from pity parties because you don't, oh, woe is me, nothing's going well. Well, everything's going well for you. You wouldn't be here. You got the internet, dadgummit. You got the opportunity to listen to a wonderful fellow like me. I talk to you every week, so put those down as your gratitudes. But just put down there what you've been grateful for this week. You should be doing it every single day. Again, it should be the first thing you do every day in your journal is write down your gratitudes. All right, then last week, what are you going to do to live next week to its fullest on your relationships, your recreation, your personal health, and your work? Again, we just utilize these four to culminate really all 7 areas of success on your success wheel, but because they do cross over. But let's be sure and put these down here because you want to live a life of intention. And if you don't put what you intend to do, guess what? It ain't going to get done. So I'll put it out here. Don't matter if you miss it. We can move it into next week, but just put down here what you plan on doing, and let's see how it goes. And then for our real stuff that we want to do, we've got our goals for the week, right? And you just put your dates here or put it in your journal, whatever it is, and goal 1, 2, 3, and 4. You don't have to have 4, but what are your goals for the week? Again, these blanks here for your specific, you may be sure they're specific, actionable, and measurable. And those are going to be your key actions. What do you need to do? What are the key things you need to do to make that goal happen this week? And again, this is looking for just the week. Not these aren't your 12th week or your annual or your down the road goals. These are your weekly goals. So what do you plan to do? You want to get done this week? You can always scratch one off as a goal and make it a to-do list if you need to do that. So just think about that. All right, and then what are you looking forward to most this week? We want to know what that is. You want your subconscious to know what that is. And then if you could accomplish just one thing this week, what would it be? So put those two down there, and then be sure that you always have an action and habit tracker going so that you can change those things or modify those things, whatever needs to happen in your life, and put your aim down there, which is how many times you plan on doing that action or habit this week, or not doing that habit, and then what days. And then at the end of the week, those should have the same amount of check marks that you do as your aim or more, and then give yourself a check at the end, and that can be a success that we'll talk about next week. All right. Again, if you need this PDF, reach out to me, or better yet, just go get you a Phoenix Journal, a2bforme.com/store, and go down there and get you a Phoenix Journal, and you will be one of the cool kids. All right. Okay. All right. Well, let me back out of here real quick. This is where we left off last Friday. We were talking about visions, and that being the number one thing is what is your vision. And we talked about really not so much about who, because that is kind of defined by what, when, where, why, and which. So we went over that. So just kind of a quick recap there of what we did. Left off with the Dalai Lama staring us in the face. He peeked his head around the corner and said, with realization of one's own potential and self-confidence in one's ability, one can build a better world. And that's what we want to do here at A to B for me. All right, well, let's look at part two of developing the confidence to go after your dreams. These are my success principles, and this is part two of that series. And there I am. And then I had some folks say, well, hey, how do I schedule one of those strategy sessions? Well, if you want to get with me, happy to do that for you. You can go up to a2bforme.com and obviously schedule. But if you just want to go a2bforme.info/15 with Don, feel free to do that. We can set up a time and chat. Love to meet you, talk to you a little bit further. When you do that, you're going to get a list of 4 questions that you need to ponder and think and be ready for. But go to a2bforme.info/15 with Don, and I'll be happy to spend some time with you, probably about 15 minutes, right? And go over and see if I can help you or see if we need to do something further. But I look forward to talking to you if you need my assistance. There it is. All righty. Let's get going. Well, number 2, we talked about vision. Now we're talking about study confidence. If you want to get confidence, you kind of got to study it, right? And if you look on the right there, we've got scheduling, right? So you got to schedule your study. Just don't tell yourself you're going to study it. You got to get it down. You got to get it in their planner. When am I going to do this? I need to do this, so when am I going to do this? And maybe it's probably not a whole blanking off the whole week, but a lot of times we do blank off weekends and do things, retreats and things. But just schedule some time for your study so you know that you're going to get it done. Because when you fully understand what it means to have confidence, you'll be better able to cultivate those feelings within yourself. And a lot of you are saying, well, that's kind of dumb. I know what confidence is. Well, maybe you really think you do, maybe you don't. But some of your studies should be more of a personal nature, like looking within yourself. And a lot of folks look at studying other people, but really, when it gets right down to it, you got to study yourself. You got to look within you and see what you got and see what you need to get, right? Then you can reflect on others regarding their confidence levels. So you can look at you can look at others. Now, this isn't a comparison. Say, oh, I'll never be like that guy. I'll never be like that gal. That's not what we're talking about here. We're just talking about, hey, where am I? What do I have? What do I need? And who has what I need that I can get out there and learn from? So, number 1, what does having more confidence mean to you? I'm going to go over a few questions here to help you in this study. Each person has their own idea of what it could be like to be confident, but consider what it would mean to you to feel more hopeful, enthusiastic, and positive about life. And again, this is just pure reflection. We have the journal. So write down your journal. What does having more confidence mean to me? And then write in there, again, what the idea means to you. What would it mean to be more hopeful, enthusiastic, and positive about life? Okay. Number two, how will you change? We're going to go through three how screens here. So the first how is how will you change? Thinking about how you'll change as you develop more confidence is integral to actually developing confidence. So, cognitively, you'll begin to entertain thoughts of specific ways you'll show that you have your life under control. Perhaps it's you're more outgoing in a room full of people. If you're an introvert and you want to get rid of that, then you need to start thinking and meditating and visualizing being more outgoing in a room full of people. Maybe you'll initiate conversations more often, right? I mean, maybe that's part of what you need to do. Maybe you need to learn networking a little bit more, or you might play more tennis or excel over others at work. So whatever it is, that what's going to change when you do this? How is your life going to change as you develop more confidence in what you need? So again, maybe it's networking, maybe it's just doing better workouts. Just whatever it is. What does that mean to you, and how's it going to change as you develop? So put down there, how will you change? Number three, how will you feel as you develop more confidence? This is a feel thing. How are you going to feel? Maybe you'll shake off those old feelings of not being good enough. Everybody's like, "Oh, I'll never have those." Yes, you do. You have, and you will, and you do. I guarantee you, no matter who you are, you go up against somebody, and you're like, "Damn, I'm not good enough," right? So, how you going to shake those feelings off? You're going to feel happier if you got more confidence. That you're just going to feel better about yourself. You'll be more comfortable with yourself and your feelings. You'll feel more excited about the life you created because you just got that, man, you got that oomph now, right? And when you gain confidence about who you are, your overall feelings are just going to be more positive because, again, you're confident, you got your subconscious on board. It knows that now when you say you're going to do this, you're going to do this, right? It's sticking with things. It's getting rid of the procrastination. But just getting the confidence is going to help you get that feeling. And once you get that feeling and you get those endorphins and all those neat things going on in your body, then your subconscious is really going to buy off on this and your life's going to start to change. Number four, how will your life be affected when you have more confidence? So this is how's your life affected? Arouse your visualizations about what your life will look like, and you'll come up with ways your existence will be enhanced by increased confidence. In other words, day to day, what's going to change? What's going to be affected? You'll likely socialize more because you got more confidence. You just go up and talk to strangers. You have more fun. You'll be really people you'll laugh at the party instead of the wilted flower in the corner. Have a more successful career more than likely because you'll be having people gravitate to you because they feel your confidence. You're exuding that, and people naturally want to be around people that are more confident and earn more money upon developing confidence because I tell you things will just change. You're not going to be slouching over anymore. You're going to have those shoulders back and that chest up, and you're going to be making eye contact. It's going to change your world because and there is people are going to take notice, and you are going to be bringing more things into your universe because you're confident and you're expecting those things to come into your universe. So you'll spend time doing the things you truly want to do. If you can just get that confidence happening for yourself. So don't cheat yourself. This is your life. Let's live it to the fullest. All right, number five, in your estimation, who is the most confident person you know? So let's put that down there and let's figure out who this is. And all we're talking about is role model, right? Now, there's a lot of things that are in here. Courageous, which is spelled incorrectly in this slide, which is really interesting. First time I noticed that. Success, unity, health, thankful, creative. They forgive. They're an optimist, humor, intelligent, trustworthy. Those types of things. That's what all encompasses a role model. But we're talking about confidence. So pick someone and identify them in your mind as Mrs. or Mr. Confidence, right? And how do they go about life? So what do they do to get their confidence? So having someone in mind as your role model for confidence will provide you with a real life guide to use to cultivate your own confidence. Now, a lot of times people say, "Dad, God, my role model superstar or whatever." Maybe your role model is 10x Mr. Grant Cardone, right? Maybe Darren Hardy. I don't know who it is. And so I can't call them. Well, no, you can just read about them. You can get blogs, do these things with them, and find out what they've done. Right? They'll sell you a book for sure. But think about relatives, or maybe grandparents, or aunts, or uncles, or even an older sibling to use as your confidence role model. So whoever in and around your life is exuding the confidence that you would like to exude. Maybe it's a teacher that you admire, or a supervisor, or a coworker at work. Maybe they could serve as the ideal model for self-confidence. So generally, there's someone in your industry, there's someone that you work in or around, or someone in your church, or someone in your community that has that it factor that you're looking for in confidence. So let's find out, who do you know that is that person? And then what can you learn from your observations of Mrs. or Mr. Confidence, right? So you want to observe and learn. It's not necessary for you to talk to your role model about their confidence level. It's just not. It's a science of observing, and you'll learn from observing. However, if you're comfortable with approaching them, feel free to ask them some questions. I guarantee you, people who are successful, you're not bothering them. If they're truly in the true core of success, they want to help other people, and they're willing to share, and they're willing to help. And it's not always $4.97 or $9.97, right? Like I said, I just posted my strategy call session for you for 15 minutes. That's not going to cost you a dime, but feel free to ask them some questions. Your keen observations are often all that's required to learn how to stoke your confidence. If you can just watch them and see what they do and see how they act, you can probably figure it out. But notice Mrs. or Mr. Confidence attitude, their appearance, their language, their manners, and just their general approach to life, and just chat. Write down, what do you see? So maybe that's your first thing, is observing, right? And then as you observe, you've got something, and you can go up to them and say, Mrs. Confidence, I've just really admired you. I've noticed your attitude. I've noticed, just the way that you dress, the wordsmithing that you do, and your mannerisms, and just your general approach to life. And I just wonder, maybe I could just ask you a few questions, because I'm really wanting to pick up my confidence level, this, that, and the other. And they'll be happy to say, well, sure, yeah, or grab a coffee or whatever it is. But begin to practice some of the things you've observed in your role model, and see if that works for you. Now, sometimes it doesn't translate because maybe you're not ready, right? Sometimes you have other things. That's why the study of you is so important. Sometimes you have other things you got to get fixed before you can be Mr. or Mrs. Confidence that you've picked out. But you can start working on that. So it's all progress, all change, and we have to get started somewhere. And it's not going to be comfortable. But growth doesn't come out of comfort. We have to stretch and get out there and make it happen. All right. Now, is there anyone so wise as to learn by the experience of others? That was Voltaire way back in the day, so this isn't anything new. Let's look at some examples here. If Mrs. Confidence seems to always have a positive attitude, work on developing your own positive attitude, because maybe that's just part of the problem. You're stinking thinking, and you're negative all the time. So start working on a positive attitude. She's got a great sense of humor. Think about ways you too can introduce humor into your social repertoire. So maybe that's it. I mean, most people like to be around people who are not just straight laced and not just so staunch all the time, but people that can crack a joke and really laugh at themselves as well. So, great sense of humor is a big part of that. If Mrs. Confidence shows proper manners and is polite to others, so we'll follow that example. If that's what you see in that individual, in essence, observe Mrs. or Mr. Confidence carefully so you can adapt some of their habits. And that's what we're talking about here. We talked about it in self mastery. It's always going to come back to you. It's always going to come back to habit. There's no way around it. That's why, again, on our A to B for me strategy, the blue line down there in the corner, the blue line is thoughts, the red is action, and the black is habits. And until you get the habits right, you're not going to get to go on to character or destiny. But the only way you're going to get those habits changed is through your thoughts and through your actions. So that's the A to B for me way. And but as you feel yourself changing, your confidence is going to flourish, right? And as it flourishes, I tell you, maybe your core values will change a little bit. Maybe definitely your thinking is going to change, and your actions are going to change. You're going to be able to get those habits modified, and slide right into whatever character is that you really want to define for yourself to reach your destiny in whatever area it is. Remember, success isn't spelled with dollar signs. You've got all areas of success in your life. So whatever destiny in each area that you want to reach, be sure and get there. But this is there anyone so wise as to learn by experience of others is orange for a reason, and that's our destiny color here at A to B for me. So if you want to reach your destiny, you need to learn by the experience of others, period. Not just in confidence, but in many, many levels. And that's why we choose to base our program here at A to B for me around the current and past thought leaders, because they've been there, done that, and there's no reason for us to reinvent the wheel. All right, well, let's look at 7. Which reading materials about developing confidence will you read? Well, we got some suggestions there for sure. A to B for me, but you can just visit your local bookstore, browse the back of the books for a list of references to social and psychological studies regarding confidence. I mean, there's a ton in there. Of course, you got the old timeless Google. Just Google confidence and get in there and find you some articles, find you some books. But I guarantee you, everything that we put out here at A to B for me is going to help you boost your confidence. But there's a wealth of self-help information out there, and but just like I said, you may not be ready for some of it. You may read through it and say, well, no, this isn't clicking with me, so just put that one down for now and grab the next one. Right? Don't get rid of it, because I guarantee you'll be coming back to it, and you'll probably be ready for it. Even if you might be one you've read before. And you weren't ready for everything that was in there at that point, but now you are. So go back and read it again. But if you haven't been through Deep Dive to Destiny, that's really where you need to start. Just go up to a2bforme.com and get into Deep Dive to Destiny. It's only a couple $100, and you go through our core curriculum and really get some work on this over the next 30 to 60 days. But those resources will likely have research-backed ideas for how you can successfully develop and build your confidence. And the more knowledge you attain, the more successful you'll be. And that's why we read. But that's why we do more than read here at A to B for me. Read, learn, and implement. And the only way we're going to learn it is to deep dive into it. And that's why we have the deep dive. So I want you to read, then we're going to do a deep dive, and then we're going to implement what's in those books. Because if you don't implement anything, there's no sense in reading. Reading without implementation is totally useless. So we want to be sure that you're utilizing what you're reading. All right. Now, which websites can you peruse for ideas? There's a few websites out there, right? I mean, just go take a gander. Like I said, Google it. There are a lot of websites out there operated by the American Psychological Association or Psychology Today. They've got a lot of places that you can start if you're just looking for from psychological based reasoning of why your confidence is low. But also there's websites for professional journals. They provide treasure trove of research results regarding personality characteristics like confidence, right? So there's just I said, just Google confidence. You're gonna have probably more than you bargained for. But I don't want you to get deluded. Is the reason why I'm talking to you about the deep dives and things, because you can get out there, and it's like we talked about in. And I think it was in one of our Thrive Thursdays. You can spend so much time preparing to learn that you're just not learning because you get out there, you got so many choices you can't figure anything out. So don't get yourself deluded. But as you gain insight and information about your own confidence is naturally going to be bolstered. So there's plenty of ways to get out there and work on this. But like I said, reading and just researching, really a huge part of it. You just have to study yourself as well. Now, your personal and intellectual study of confidence is going to help you cultivate your own confidence. So, we kind of went about that. This is kind of our summary for the day. Reflecting on what having confidence means to you, how you would change, and how you would feel as a confident person are important. And then also imagining how your life would be affected if you were confident. Helps you gain a better understanding of confidence and how to grow it. And then we talked about role model. Finding a confidence in a role model will provide you with the opportunity to observe, learn, and apply some of your role models' ways of living. And then finally, we talked about expanding your knowledge base about confidence through reading, getting out some self-help books, going through some deep dives here, maybe some of our programs, either Deep Dive to Destiny or preferably 84 days. That's a 12-week program for you. And discovering helpful websites that'll also serve to bolster your confidence reserves. So that's what you need to be doing for this next couple of days. Just take a look at that, see what you've got, see how we can do to help you. Maggie Steve Vetter had a great one here. It says self-confidence is not the same thing as ego. This is not to say that the two don't frequently dance hand in hand down the street, pushing over old ladies in crosswalks and kicking baby kittens, but they are definitely not the same entity. Ego is thinking you have all the answers. Self-confidence is knowing you don't have the answers, but being pretty sure that you'll be able to find them. So let's kick out the ego. We don't be the one out there pushing over old ladies at crosswalks and kicking baby kittens, right? Let's go out there and let's do the self-confidence. I know I never would have come up with that, so thanks, Maggie. Appreciate that. The self-confidence is knowing you don't have the answers, but being pretty sure you'll be able to find them. And that's the key to life. Knowing where to find it. You're not going to know everything. No one does. I don't know everything. If someone comes to me and got a question, so let's figure that out together, right? Or I know a guy who can help you with that, or a gal that can help you with that. But I always want to be pretty sure that you'll know where to find it. All right. Well, that does it for today. We got part 3 coming up on Friday. So we got another Finish Strong Friday coming up, and we're going to be really talking about prepare for self-confidence. We might even get into a little bit of discover motivation on Friday, depending on what our time looks like. But I don't want to go over about 25 to 30 minutes on these sessions for you because I don't want to wear you out. But this is plenty for today. Little bite-sized pieces. Go back, review it, and be sure that you got those 8 points down. And all you got to do is just click that play again, and you're good to go. So I am going to hop back in here for you. I'm sitting here talking and not letting you. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking at you. So I want to talk to you a little bit before I go. But anyway, have a great midweek here, and just keep it rolling. And we will talk to you tomorrow. Thrive Thursday. We've got a really good one for you tomorrow, and then I'll finish on Friday. We'll be back for part 3. All right. Well, if you need me, reach out to me. You saw how to do that. Just go up to A to B for me.info/15 with Don, and I'll be happy to chat with you. All right. Have a great one, and keep moving in the direction